Before we break down and describe the 90-90 position, it's critical that I quickly share with you the most significant and indispensable core muscle that astoundingly is the least exercised and most often overlooked by trainers, athletes, and the fitness community. The transverse abdominis, or TVA, is the deepest of all core muscles. It's the predominant spinal stabilizer and has been proven to be linked to low back health and stability, core pillar strength, and efficiency of movement. So how do you target and fire the transverse abdominis muscle? This illustration shows some of the most critical core muscles, and in particular, the main point I want to emphasize is the direction and the orientation of the muscle fibers for the transverse abdominis. The muscle fibers horizontally wrap around the body to form a deep internal corset that protects and stabilizes the spinal column. Therefore, crunches and sit-ups are not a practical way to strengthen the core and improve pillar strength in your body. Functional and effective core training requires targeted exercises that specifically strengthen and condition the transverse abdominis. So here I want to show you a view of the human body from the transverse plane. So an easy way to visualize this is to think about cutting through the body like a chainsaw through a tree. Then you're taking a look from the top down. So some key areas to pay attention to on this photo are the relaxed state of the rectus abdominis, internal oblique and external oblique, and the combined contraction of the lumbar multifidus and the transverse abdominis. So the rectus abdominis is the most overrated abdominal muscle and is often trained in excess because it provides the aesthetic appearance of a six-pack. So disproportionate training of the rectus abdominis in relation to the transverse abdominis actually weakens spinal stability and increases the probability of low back fatigue and injury. Here we take a closer look at the 90-90 position. It's referred to as the 90-90 because the 90-degree angle of the hip and knee joint. Although difficult to maintain as the muscles fatigue, especially the muscles of the core, we must constantly strive to keep this orientation of the hips and lower extremities. It's critical that this position is fully understood and mastered, as this entire core conditioning series and all the advanced variations will build from and incorporate this solid and stable foundation. In the top frame, I have anatomically achieved the 90-90 position, but have not effectively engaged the core. This is visually evident by the increased lumbar lordosis, which is also known as the curvature of the lower back. In the lower frame, my biomechanical positioning might seem indistinguishable from the upper frame, but there's one key difference. That difference is the focused and powerful contractions of the TVA, lumbar multifidi, and the pelvic floor muscles. This may seem novice, but throw in prolonged holds, concentrated breathing, and/or base disruptions, and you will quickly realize how challenging and functional this position really is.